Welcome to Jalby Radio on this Thursday, April 11th, 2024. One thing I wanted to talk about today was just something that's been on my mind. I work in healthcare, and I often run into cases where I have patients that, they've been given a diagnosis and they've only got a certain amount of months or years to live with terminal illnesses, different kinds, and sometimes even just like old age that they know that they're starting to die, their appetite's gone, they're not eating, so it's only a matter of time. And recently I had a patient where she passed away in that manner, and she had already accepted it. She had already come to a resolve, and she said, I'm ready. What's the point of being here if I'm just unable to move around? I need help, I'm dependent. And she had that resolve. Now, granted, she was 96 years old, but I think that all of us, no matter what our age, should have that resolve, because so many times we just take for granted the fact that, we have a day of life. And a lot of people, yes, they live, into their 70s, 80s, 90s, but you just really don't know. And, cancer, car accidents, tragedies, whatever, anything could take our lives any day. And if you sit there and you have this expectation that you're somehow entitled to a long life, or that you're going to live a long life, it's really a fallacy, because when something catches you off guard, like in healthcare, where you see all these crazy diseases and situations and people dying young in their 50s or their 30s, or you hear, like I have another patient that said that her grandson died in a car accident and he was about to start college, so you hear all these situations, you're around it, you see the patients, and then they pass away. And it's just important to keep that mindset. Some of the stuff I've put out so far, talking about the mindset, talking about victim mentality, other things, but this is a big topic that people need to think about and keep in mind. It's the idea that we shouldn't take any day for granted, and we should appreciate every day as a gift of life, a gift that God gives us. And it can be taken from us in any moment. Our time could be tomorrow or whenever. We just don't know what could happen. And so don't live with this expectation that you're entitled to this long life and that you're going to live forever, because we really don't know. And it's finding that balance, planning as if you're going to live forever. And hopefully, if we're lucky, we get to our, 80s, 90s, and we're doing pretty decently, but also enjoying life in the present, and pursuing experiences, having good relationships with your family, with your friends, and not holding grudges, not holding hatred, being positive, and doing something with your life that makes a difference. Because you might say, well, this one person spent their whole life working, and they gave their life to their job or whatever. Like, say it was a doctor that worked until they were like 65 or 70. And yeah, you could say, well, they should have retired sooner and enjoyed their retirement. But, what if this person was happy and passionate about what they did, and serving others gave them that fulfillment that they wouldn't have found anywhere else? And at the same time, they were contributing to society. They were making a difference. They were helping other people. So, you got to find what it is that you love to do and what brings you joy, and then share that with others. And if you can do it, then find a job that you love and make a difference, and it doesn't necessarily have to be, working with people. It can be other things, but just make sure that every day in your interactions that you're, keeping that in mind, that nothing is guaranteed. We do have certainties, death and taxes, and the certainty of death, a lot of people don't talk about. They don't think about it. They don't want to talk about it. And it always catches people off guard, because they just kind of put it in the back burner and they're in denial till the very end. And it's like, you shouldn't live that way, You should have the understanding that all of us will die, and we have this life we've been given, and we have to make the most of it and make a good impact on the life of others. And so I hope that I can start doing that with Jalby Radio. And I hope that this video, can kind of turn on a light bulb in some people's minds, that we have to start thinking differently, and we have to start accepting our fate, that all of us will eventually die, and that the fact that we can live this long is a gift. And I'll close with one more thing. I was telling my wife recently that if you think about those of you who have pets, right? You have dogs or cats. We have both. But if you think about your dog, think about how happy the dog is every day that they see you. You come home, they're wagging their tails, they're barking, they want to play fetch, they want you to walk them and all these things. And if you think about the love and the energy that that dog has, well, what's the lifespan of most dogs? It's only, 10, 15 years, that's as far as I've seen the range. Maybe some live longer. But if you think about it, the dog is so happy and the dog is so loyal, and they spend every day, excited about how they're going to please their master, how they're going to please you, and how they're going to enjoy time with you. And they have this tiny little life comparatively to ours, which, can go up to 80, 90 years old, now 100 plus. I've seen a lot of cases. But if we start thinking about that short life that dog has, and yet the amount of joy and loyalty and the purpose that they have in their life to please us and to be with us and be the companion, it kind of puts it in perspective, because it's like we have this long life, and yet this dog has a short life, and they're living it to the fullest. And like, what are we doing? So just something to think about. So I'm glad I could put out a video today, and I'm going to try to do at least one every day of the week if I can. But hope y'all are doing great. Thank you to the new subscribers and to everyone who's giving us views on the channel. Eventually, once we get bigger, we'll start a live stream radio show, which is the goal. And I would love to get to a point where I can have people calling in, talking to people from around the country, possibly around the world, and just kind of getting everyone's perspective and bringing us together. So hope you'll have a great day, and thanks for tuning in. Goodbye.